Today's show is brought to you by thelovesickcure.com. Does your love life suck because you can't move on from the idea of him? Does every man you meet pale in comparison to the way he made you feel? It's okay, lady love. We 100% understand and have been there before. Whether you'd like the opportunity to get him back or to completely move on, we know this only happens when you cure your heartbreak and love sickness. Let us help you do that today at thelovesickcure.com.
You are listening to Single Smart Female.
This is Jen.
And Jen.
Letting it all hang out for your love life.
Examining your dating experiences and answering your hot topic dating questions.
Just you and us. Jen squared. No topic is off limits and no filters involved.
We are here to help you do dating on your terms.
If you have a question you would like us to answer or would like to immediately upgrade your love life with our collection of classes and exclusive merchandise, meet us over now at singlesmartfemale.com. Hey, Single Smart Females, it's Jen and Jen here, coming to you as your romantic fairy godmamas, bringing you all kinds of really great information. In fact, today is Q&A day, which means we are answering one of your questions. Whose will it be? Is it yours? Or is it yours? Who? What are you doing? You look like you're blowing on the mic.
I don't know. We love your questions, and today we have a question from Miss Open to Love, who is from Toronto. She writes, Dear Jens, good morning, ladies. I am grateful for your podcast. It has really helped me maneuver back into the dating world. I would appreciate your guidance on some of my emotional trauma in regards to relationships. 1, my mom was sick the majority of my life. I cared for her until I was 23 when she passed away. 2, I was in a very serious car accident where someone in the other vehicle died. It was the other's fault, but it changed my life and outlook. 3, I was with my husband for 7 years. 3 weeks after we were married, he committed suicide. I am a very honest and loving person, so entering back into the dating world has been a bit of a challenge for me. I am 32, ready to move forward in my life, find love, and have a great family. I have a great job, work hard, and have tons of fun. I really am a great catch. I tend not to tell men I'm widowed. Never mind all the other terrible things that have happened in my life because it always gets thrown back at me when I do open up. I find when I'm honest upfront, they'll be nice and understanding, but when they're bored, they'll use that as their excuse as an out. So now I find I don't mention it unless they ask, and of course I'm honest, but I feel like I can't be myself because no one can love someone who's been through the ringer and had so much hardship in their life. It's almost like I'm too much to handle, but I don't talk about it with them on a regular. I'd really like your opinions. I know there is someone who will love me, but I don't want to scare them away. What to do when men use your emotional trauma as an excuse? A common thing I hear from men is, you are the most beautiful and kind person. You have a lot of depth to you, which isn't a bad thing, but...
Okay. It is a challenging question. We have answered a question about being a widow before, and of course, I'm a fan of if it's coming up and it's, taking your time unveiling that to a man. The other thing is that Miss Open to Love she's had a lot of trauma. This isn't, losing your husband, hard enough. But on top of that, having just kind of this ongoing traumatic event after a really big traumatic event and another really big traumatic, and then 3 times. So I'm glad that you're talking about how you have a lot of fun going on in your life. What I think that I particularly would do is, and this might seem just a little out in left field, but I would be working on the sexual piece with yourself. Why? Because that is a really powerful place to start to rid yourself of
grief.
Yeah, grief. I don't know that she's necessarily grieving, but I think she might have the kind of the energy of grief still all around her. She can start breaking through all that. So with men specifically, when you first start this, I would just kind of take the approach that, and talk about other things in your life. Not that you're not going to get there, because I really believe in being an open person, but I also believe in men earning certain parts of us. So especially when we have very tender places and you've had experiences of when you reveal those places, they kind of take a hike, then I think it's really a really good idea to unveil yourself slowly. With that said, again, this might sound off in left field, but I think addressing the sexual pieces of yourself and learning to make dating the most extraordinarily fun thing you've ever done in your life is going to be wildly healing. And when you focus on that part, what you're going to start seeing is that men will keep stepping up because you're just focused on the moment of fun with men. You're not focused on whether or not they're going to stay around. And this is harder to do, but when you can stay in the moment and not worry about if you're going to see him next week or if he's going to stay around or when he finds out, but just understanding that for now, this is what this is and you're learning to stay in this moment, it's going to be a completely different scenario. So I'm going to recommend 2 things. First, I'd like you to go address the sexual piece, and you can do that at singlesexualfemale.com. And then, of course, I think it's a great idea to start thinking about the Secret Society of Adored Women, which we do address the sexual piece in there if you wanted to do it all in one big bang.
Yeah, we'd love to have you.
Yes. Yeah. And let us help you make this process incredibly fun. Trauma, yours, it's big. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that it has to dictate the rest of your life. It can become and it sounds horrible, but some of the greatest opportunities in your life. Not exactly the same thing. I'm not saying that, but my mother passing, as much as I miss her, was one of the biggest opportunities in my life. It still is not fun.
And
to think about.
You
and it's not
it.
No, but it was a huge opening for me. It was a huge motivator in my life. So we can use those pieces. I'm sure that you were addressing the trauma, but I also know that with trauma and other traumatic things that have happened, and I've seen it with other women as well, incorporating pleasure is insanely healing. I'm not talking about chaotic pleasure per se. I'm talking about deliberate, intentional, and integrity with you pleasure. And that's why I think that you should consider addressing the sexual piece and then making your dating experiences more fun than you've ever considered having before and developing your mantourage. Any thoughts, Jen?
You know what? I have to be honest with you, Jen. That did come out of left field for me. I didn't anticipate that. Mm-hmm. But I totally understand why you say that. And I agree that it can open her up because
it just occurred to me why I said it. Intuitively, I said it. Okay. And I'm going to tell you why. The reason why is because when you connect to the sexual piece in a way with good boundaries and understand your sexual piece really well, it makes you extremely powerful. And when you're extremely powerful, that means you get to dictate how things go.
Right.
And you get to dictate more of how people feel about you because you become irresistible to them. Mm-hmm. So I want her to play in that world for a little bit and explore there. Plus, she's getting so much pleasure just naturally from that she starts to light up more and she's going to become very irresistible to men. So I know they were talking about, what do men say to her again?
Oh, they say, you are the most beautiful and kind person. You have a lot of depth to you, which isn't a bad thing, but...
Okay, so here I'm also missing an edge.
Yeah, right.
You're super sweet and you're this, you're really smart, but there's an edge that's missing and she has an edge. It's not coming through.
Right.
And
I think that sexual piece will help with that.
Yeah, that'll help significantly.
Right.
Okay. Sexual piece, make your dating life as fun as you want. Take your time letting men know. Yes, there'll be a point where you can say this any way you need to, but I wouldn't worry about it right now. It's yours. They need to earn that opportunity to know that from you. Go ahead, Jen.
And I just want to make sure I'm understanding this correct, Jen. I think that I am. You're not saying like a sexual piece, like you should go out and sleep with men right now.
No, I'm not talking. I'm talking about addressing things sexually within yourself.
Yes.
Okay. I am not talking about sleeping with men. Okay.
Right.
Very. Thank you for making that point for me. You're welcome. Very clear. Okay, Lover Girl, it's time for the final thought on today's show.
Trauma, although horrible, can be an opening that you never imagined possible.
Today's show is brought to you by thelovesickcure.com. Does your love life suck because you can't move on from the idea of him? Does every man you meet pale in comparison to the way he made you feel? It's okay, lady love. We 100% understand and have been there before. Whether you'd like the opportunity to get him back or to completely move on, we know this only happens when you cure your heartbreak and love sickness. Let us help you do that today at thelovesickcure.com. Hey, Lover Girl, this is Jen again. Don't forget to subscribe to the show in your favorite podcast app, as well as share Single Smart Female with all of your single smart girlfriends. And if you would like to play around and learn more about Mantourage dating, come see me at singlesmartfemale.com. Talk to you next time.